What's up, Sooner Nation? I know we are about 5 minutes early, but that's because why not start early, guys? Welcome to Sooner Surge YouTube Live pregame for the OU West Virginia 6 o'clock bout. They're in Norman, Oklahoma at the Palace on the Prairie. We have Hunter, Jackson, and Braden all at the game. Jay and I here at our houses to carry this pregame live. And I already see comments here. Blake, you're 100% correct. This Ollie Gordon, how many times are you going to be on the ground and griping? And I tell you what, I'm baffled how OU lost to Kansas and OSU, Jay.
It doesn't make sense. Watching the games today, it makes me even more mad. But OSU's getting spanked. I mean, it's not even. And did you see they didn't even bring rain gear? How do you not bring rain gear to Florida? I don't understand that at all. But hey, if there's anything I know after watching games today, Kansas and OSU, it makes me almost feel like worse going into tonight's game. Like, did OU lose to those two teams the way they did? It almost makes you feel – I don't feel the greatest going in tonight. Do you?
John's asking the channel that OU's on. OU's on Fox, John.
Fox.
Regular Fox. Hey, yes, Timothy, you called the Tech upset. You absolutely called it. Kansas loses to Tech. Tech goes down there basically in about 42 seconds, maybe even less, to win that game on a field goal. OSU's getting destroyed. UCF is basically doing whatever they want down the middle of the field, showing that if you just sit in the pocket a little bit, look off a couple of your reads, you got guys running down the field wide open. I don't know how OU lost these last two games, but there's a way they get to Arlington still.
Well, you got
start tonight.
Is it weird to say that the hardest possibility for OU to make the Big 12 is just OU winning out?
That's possible to say. I mean,
right now it looks like everything else may happen unless OSU looks like they can't beat Houston next week. So
now, Jay, if OSU loses twice,
OU's in. OU Texas.
Is that for sure?
I'm pretty sure that's what happens if OSU loses again. If OSU loses again, you don't necessarily need Texas to lose.
Timothy says we win out, we will be there. Probably because of how much stuff is going to happen. Yeah, you're right, Blake. Drake Stoops has gotten national attention, and deservedly so. Yes, shut up, nut up, play football. And guys, again, I wish we could see that a little bit from DG. And maybe tonight he plays unreal, but I wish we could see that kind of leadership also from the QB position. Just me personally.
But, Jeremy, what makes you think it's going to be different tonight?
I don't know, Jay. I hope we sit in the pocket a little bit, look at progressions.
After watching Kansas and OSU today, that's got to make you feel worse about OU, right?
A little bit, because OU was not able to. I mean, UCF had more points on the board against OSU in a quarter than OU did in the game, just about.
Yeah, and a rainstorm too. Now, they haven't done much since it started raining, but still, they shut Ollie Gordon down like nothing. I mean, I think he had like 6 yards in the first half. Unbelievable.
Didn't get the ball much.
No.
What you got to see tonight, it sounds like Stutzman's probably going to be a go, Jay.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I mean, you got to get on him early. OU has not had a good start in how long, Jay? Texas, they had a pretty good start, scored out of the gate.
Yeah, and listen, I do not want people to boo, but I am afraid that if it starts slow, that you're going to hear some boo birds. I'm afraid of it.
I don't want it to happen either, but
I think it might happen if they start slow.
How much is Bowen going to play? I hope a lot, Blake. I hope more than.
I think he's getting a lot. He's real close to 100% probably. So he should be playing more and more. As you know, he should play more tonight than he's played in the last few weeks, I would think.
Blake from Utah is going to be at that OU BYU game next week, and Utah hung 28 on Washington in the first half.
Washington has no defense. None.
Zilch.
I don't think I think Oregon's the best team in the Pac-12, and it's not close.
Agreed.
And then also, listen, the lowest point spread, the lowest over-under in the history of college football is today, 27 points. Rutgers and Iowa. You know what the score was at half?
3-0.
3-0. They're going to go under. They're going to go under.
Yeah.
So, hey, we
so
can complain
tonight.
about Levy all we want. At least we're not dealing with that crap.
Oh, BYU, Iowa State tonight. Nice. Yeah, I hope Iowa State destroys them so they can be peaking at the right time going to that Texas game next week. Hey, tonight at Norman. I mean, I don't know, Jay. I don't know what we're going to see as far as the carousel at running back. I don't know what we're going to see. Is DG actually going to run the ball tonight? Like,
Needs to.
Your guess is as good as mine offensively.
He needs to run the ball. I don't know why you wouldn't, right?
Grant Briggs is supposed to be in attendance.
Grant Briggs is there. There's a lot of big names there.
O-line. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. I agree. You see that score and you're like, how in the world can OU not hang 50 on this team?
Well, the same thing about Kansas, Jeremy. I watched them. Jeremy, they don't look very good at all.
It's a high school football team.
And I know Bean got hurt, but even when Bean was in there, I was like, Bean? He's not that great. Like, and the fact that Texas Tech in the first quarter pretty much handed the ball off and just ran down their throat for the first few drives. Yeah, Kansas fixed it, but still.
There's definitely chaos. I hope West Virginia doesn't add to that chaos. Look, I'm just telling you right now, guys, if OU messes around and piddle paddles around and lets West Virginia hang around, they're in major trouble.
And Jeremy, if they start slow, it's going to go down to the wire. To me, if the first quarter is 0, if it's close to tied in the first quarter, I think this is going to the fourth.
OU was a 2-point conversion away, not stopping from that Kendall Dobie from really being on a 3-game skid right now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's nothing that tells me it's going to be better.
Blake says inept play caller, and look,
hey,
Blake,
listen,
I agree with you. I do think Gabriel's got to be better though.
Yeah, I think
I'll tell you one way you could change. I'll tell you one way you could change the vibe a little bit, Norman.
Oh, stop! I know what you're going to say.
Throw Jackson Arnold out for one series. See what happens.
Hey,
listen.
Series. Okay, but listen.
Talk about energy.
Listen, though, it's not all Levy. I agree. Some of the play calls, but I'm not as ticked at Levy as the play calling as I am his personnel choices. That's my thing. I think he can actually call a pretty good game. I don't think he called a horrible game against OSU. I don't think we executed very well.
He just had 4 or 5 horrible calls.
There was a couple of plays he needed to have back, like the trick plays. Those are dumb. But personnel choices are my main problem with him.
Yeah, it's bad. But Blake, I don't think there's any chance Jeff Levy leaves before that they get rid of him before the end of the year. It would have
Levy's
to be
not going anywhere, guys.
End of the year, he's gone.
I don't think so.
I do, but I know we disagree on that, Jay.
I don't think
so.
We do. I think they're going to
get a lot. Hey, we need every win we can get. You're building off a last year that was bad, but hey, for all the people again that called this a rebuild year, you're outside your ever-loving mind. They lost to Kansas and OSU, who aren't very good, guys. OU should be undefeated right now.
That's my thing. Hey, yeah, Michigan. How about this stat from the Michigan game? 8 pass attempts. You know how many times they threw the ball in the second half? 0. I don't know if there's many people complaining about their play calling because they won. And that's what this comes down to. You got to win games. If you don't win games and you don't beat the likes of Kansas and OSU, people are going to be talking. And that's the main problem right now. Go out there and win and look good doing it. Nobody will talk about it tonight after the win. So go out there, show up and dominate.
Sooner Surge contingent here. Thanks again for joining us on the pregame live. We will have a post game immediately following the game, probably about 15, 20 minutes after. Just make sure your notifications are on. We want to talk to you guys after the game, but drop it in the chat here, guys, in the comment. Who are you looking forward to mostly tonight? Maybe getting, I guess you could say, extra plays or more plays than they have in the past.
Yeah.
Who is it? I know yours is Bowen, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gibson offensively might.
My defense, but I want to see Adebawore more on defense.
Hey, there was a stat going around that PJ Adebawore, as far as the rushing the passer, the stat, the beat your guy rate, he's the best on the team. So why is he not getting more run, right?
Exactly, I think. And Dapu said Jaden Gibson, I agree. I think we'll see. Mike says Nick Anderson, and Mike, I agree. He's on the field a lot. Sometimes DG just doesn't make it over to his progression because he's locked in on his first guy.
DG's got to be great tonight, and the deep ball has to be great. No more. You can't underthrow guys from 3 yards. I mean, you just can't do it.
Coconut Greg says the G squared boys, Gavin and Gibson. Gavin Salchuk's been improving.
Hey, I don't know about this, Timothy. I don't know. Is it that, or is it maybe OU's just not as good as we thought they were? We'll find out tonight.
Yeah, Salchuk. Hey, Jay, this tiebreaker, Jay Jones, this tiebreaker gets a little interesting on a 3-way and a 4-way.
OSU has to lose again if they lose today.
If OSU loses today, they're going to need to lose again, unless Kansas loses again.
Well, you'd have to have Texas lose if OSU doesn't. See what I'm saying?
No, because OU has a tiebreaker over Texas.
If OSU loses today, they have to lose again for OU to have the tiebreaker over them.
Over OSU, yes, but OU would have it over Texas.
So you're saying if OSU loses, if Texas loses, still OU would still have a chance. Hey, listen, there's some weird things happening today. TCU tonight, they may play the best game of the year. You never know. You don't. TCU fans, it's the last game they're going to get to play Texas at home. They're going to be fired up. I'll tell you that right now.
I had OSU fans last night at the high school football game talking smack to me saying, how's it feel to lose the last Bedlam? And all I kept saying is, you guys better be careful what you're saying, because 3 weeks from now, it could be Bedlam round 2, and OSU's not getting out of that game winning, and I promise you. Yes, Jay, we could very well meet OSU again, although the way they're playing today, I don't think they get there if they continue this. I mean, this is bad.
I would really question next week at Houston with Dana Holgorsen. I don't know. I think Dana Holgorsen may get OSU. But
Coconut Greg, you're speaking truth. I don't know why we've been talking about it. It's way too early. OU's got to show they can actually go out there and score 40 points.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The out of that possibility, the hardest thing to probably come true is OU win 3 in a row. I mean, I don't know.
OU's offense wasn't good against UCF. It wasn't good against Kansas. It wasn't very good against OSU. The offense wasn't good one half against Texas. I mean, it wasn't good against SMU. It wasn't good against Cincinnati. OU's offense is struggling, guys.
Yeah, they got to fix it right now. And, dude, can they fix it? I'm going to ask you a question. Flat out, Jeremy. You answer it. Can this offense be fixed with Dylan Gabriel as the quarterback?
You already know my answer to this.
Well, I want you to answer it.
The answer is you're not going to get any better. This is what it is.
So you think today with Dylan Gabriel, they can't go out there and score 45 or 50?
They have. They've done that against Iowa State. He's got to run the ball, though. He's got to use his legs. But, Jay, if you're going to rely on him to sit in a pocket, if you've watched any of the OSU game, Plumlee is sitting back in the pocket and just scanning the field and finding open guys and throwing it. Gabriel likes to throw it immediately as soon as he's got his first read. That's a big issue to me. You're not letting the offense really be for what it is.
Yeah, and Levy's got to get better at the personnel. You got to play the best 2 running backs. That's Stalchuk and Walker, is it not? I mean, that's the top 2 running backs. Playing both.
Hey, Timothy.
You would think tonight would be you would think tonight's the toughest game, and
but Timothy, we got 2 guys from the Surge that are down there at the game, and they said the vibe's not very good right now. I hope that changes. I've just heard the crowd.
The crowd vibe?
Crowd vibe, feeling everything. There's not a lot of energy. Of course, my suggestion was play Jackson Arnold. I think the energy level would be to the roof. But
Coconut Greg's right on this. And I think that's
penalties too. Penalties.
Well, yeah, but turnovers, man. That's cost you the last 2 games, period. If they don't turn the ball over, they win both those games.
Turnovers and penalties.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. Discipline, lack of discipline's been bad. So, I mean, yeah, Bowman throws another interception. I can hear my 6-year-old son in there screaming.
How many turnovers does he have? 3?
That's one was a quick slant, and the guy just got rocked.
That's
a great word. Trap house. That is a phrase that is so overused, but is so true. Complementary football. I think OU could probably run the ball more and create more balance.
Hey, 31-3 UCF. And by the way, Harvey Kimberly, I was watching him earlier. That dude's so good. I would love Harvey. I mean, Harvey is unreal for running. He's good. Really
It's
good.
pouring down rain. Hey,
Pouring down rain and they have no rain gear.
Hunter said it was raining in Norman earlier, but I think that's gone.
That was just sprinkle. Hey, how do you not bring rain gear to a Florida game?
Because
How?
it's Mike Gundy. They're still thinking about the Super Bowl they won last week.
No, he said that they moved on from that. Remember? Monday press conference?
Oh, yeah. Trap House is in the house. Jimmy's in the house. Thanks, guys, for all being on here. We are doing 2 live. We're doing this pregame live. We're going to hit it up again after the game to get everyone's thoughts. Hopefully, I have a voice. I'm already losing mine, but you've got to, in my opinion, be balanced, as Trap House said. I just want I want to see what's going to happen at running back. I want to see us go across the middle of the field. We got to stop Garrett Green. Garrett Green can run the ball and throw the ball, but he's not very good, accurate thrower. You put pressure on him, you got to keep him contained. Can't let him outside the pocket. Can't let him run the ball. Maybe put a spy on him. He is the guy. You got to stop him.
And they struggled with him a little bit last year. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that.
OU has struggled with them several times.
Boomer Chicken 1515. Good to have you in here, guys. Yeah, OU struggled against him a little bit, but hey, it sounds like Stutzman's playing. So if he plays, does that mean Kanik is going to start next to him, or is it going to be Kip Lewis, guys? I think it needs to be Kip, personally. I think
I don't know. I can't really complain a lot on the defensive side as far as personnel. I would like to see more.
I know.
I would like to see more Bowen than more Key Lawrence. I do know that. And I think Dolby's been pretty good. And hey, this is the edge, guys. Where's Ethan Downs been? Where's R. Mason Thomas not getting any pressure? Unless OU blitzes, they're not beating one-on-ones, and that's not good, guys.
Thanks, Mars. Yeah, I appreciate that. Hit the like button for sure. Hey, I would love Kip and Stutz. And Trap House is right about the pass rush.
What do you think about the edge, Jay? It's not good.
It's not good. And a lot of people say, well, teams are leaving extra blocker in. That doesn't matter on the one-on-one on the edge. That wouldn't matter till you got by that guy. Then that would matter. They're not winning the first guy. They're not beating the first guy. And that's the problem I'm having.
Downs and Thomas are on the milk counter. And that's why, Trap House, that's why earlier when I said, who do I want to see more of? It's Adebawore. I want PJ Adebawore to be in there more, especially on passing downs, please. Just get the guy can put his hands up and get his hands in a passing lane too. I mean,
but
knock the ball down.
Wouldn't you say, though, for the year, Downs is probably the best edge guy?
Downs has been the best edge guy, but he's missed
that going in. Nobody thought that going in, though.
No one thought that.
So where's all the other productivity?
Yeah, it's not been there. Where's Grayson Halton been on the interior? He hasn't played a lot.
The interior, to me, has been pretty good all around.
They've been pretty good. They've been pretty good.
They've stopped the run, which is their main goal, is to stop the run.
Blake, I'm not sure when Gentry's going to get hurt again. I hope it isn't again tonight.
And hey, the Son thing's baffling to me. And I'm not going to complain too much about the defense because they played well. But when he plays, he makes plays, and then he comes out, and you're like, man, I haven't seen Deshaun in a while. He hasn't been playing. I don't understand it. To me, maybe he's not as good in coverage as Dolby. It doesn't matter. He makes plays. I don't care. If he's football-wise, he makes the play, and that's all that matters to me.
Yeah,
that's a good question about Bothroyd.
I don't think he's been a disappointment. He's done some really good things.
He hasn't made the big-time plays, though.
No, hasn't. Maybe not as big as I thought he would be, but I don't think that – I mean, Deshaun, you bring up Deshaun McCullough. You look at him, you think, how in the world would you ever take this? Why in the world would you ever take this guy out? Yet they do. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would argue that you got Adebawore on one side and maybe Ethan on the other side, but even on passing downs, Ethan Downs is more of a run guy, but Ethan Downs has been good most of the year.
Yeah, but it's frustrating because that's all with the coaches, the offensive linemen that blocked him in the practice. That's all we heard about all offseason was R. Mason Thomas. For 2 years, we've heard about R. Mason Thomas. Have we not?
Correct.
It's time for him to make something of a name, I think.
He is pretty brittle. I'm not going to lie. Hey, I don't know if anything is Ted Roof's idea, Mike. I think Roof is just like a motivational speaker, does some things on the sidelines, but he's not calling plays, and his decisions are not as who's playing, in my opinion. If I would be shocked and would be just mind blown if Brent Venables isn't the guy. Although what was weird, Jay, listen, guys, there was a game where BV watched film and said, we got to get out of Bore in more.
Yeah.
So that's hinting at he's not the guy calling it.
I think he has a lot of say in it, Jeremy.
I mean, is it Miguel Chavez saying it or who? I mean, but that was interesting when he said that.
Here's the thing. Not only do you have to play good and win and look good doing it because you just need to. You're the University of Oklahoma. You're playing West Virginia. Your last 4 games are UCF, Kansas, OSU, and West Virginia. Those should be all wins and all look good doing it, and they haven't been. But also for recruiting tonight, it's a huge night for recruiting. You got a lot of people there watching tonight, and you need to put on a good performance, bar none. There's big-time names there tonight. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but there's a bunch of big-time dudes that are there. Hey, Ron, how are you? Thanks for joining, Ron. So you got to look good doing it, man. You got to have a good performance.
Jay, if you get a chance, will you maybe send a message to Hunter, Jackson, or Braden if they can give us any updates as far as warm-ups, who's out there warming up, maybe who's not? Because honestly, guys, you never know. You never know who's going to be out there and who's not going to be. Hicks didn't make the trip last week. Caleb Hicks didn't make it.
Jeremy, Gentry's warming up, and Bowen looks good. Made a long one-handed catch.
Hey, am I the only one who wants Farouk benched on kickoff returns and to see Peyton Bowen out there?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do it.
That would liven it up a little. Trap House, rumor mill, don't quote me. Root won't be here after the season if Dave gets canned by the Bears. That is, I actually, Trap House, last week I saw something on Twitter about Dave Aranda, and I thought the same thing. Wow, that would be amazing if you could get that guy. I mean, he would be unreal to get. He's been a nemesis for OU for many times since he's been at Baylor. I would love to have him on staff.
Man, they look awful.
Blake, I hate to say this. I'm not a psychic, but be prepared to lose your freaking mind. And, yeah, Brendan Thompson's another one I'd like to see more of. But I would like to see Bowen on kickoff returns. I think Bowman also is great, but I know he's a starter, so it's like a little risky. But OU's had a lot of returns. A lot of people aren't kicking into the end zone on him.
Hey, you really think – I know I've talked all week with you, and you think Arnold's playing tonight.
No, look.
Right?
I'm going to tell you what I think about Arnold. Look. I'm not a guru on everything. I just know that when things are not going well, you can change it up a little. Am I calling for DG just to be ripped out of the game right now? No. Early in the year, though, they played Arnold 1 or 2 series. There's nothing wrong with doing that, even in this game. I would love to see it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think he gets in the game tonight. Maybe he gets in because OU's just killing him. Maybe that. Ron says DG is beat up. Maybe that's why he's not running the ball. Maybe.
I've heard that too, because also his arm, they say, doesn't look as strong as it did early on. I don't know. I don't think his arm has ever been great. I don't know the Miami score. They got robbed of a safety, though. I know earlier in the game. That was a horrific call. Did y'all see that safety? Wow.
Coconut would like for the live snaps to be in mop-up time, and I'm okay with that too, Coconut, as long as they're letting him throw the ball around the yard a little bit. And that would be great because that means OU would be winning going away. Petaway. Okay, Timothy brings that Petaway. Petaway's got to get on the field more.
I agree, but
I mean, I'm talking like Ryan Broyles type action with Petaway. Broyles type.
I don't understand. I know Freeman had a great offseason, but what about every once in a while, instead of putting Freeman, get Petaway some run, right?
I agree. I agree, Jay.
And that's listen, I know, Jeremy, we've been arguing all day with Sooner Surge guys about Levy. And listen, I do not think Levy is that bad of a play caller as much I think his personnel decisions. Now, listen, the Kansas and SMU game, those were horrific play calling games. I'll admit that. But I don't think OSU was horrific other than a few plays. I think it was the execution by the offense, DG, and his personnel decision. That's what's baffling to me. His personnel decisions are dumb, and that's what bothers me.
13-13, Miami, Florida State.
Guys, I hate to
Yeah,
say this, but I think Alabama may be the best team in football.
they're looking
Hey,
pretty
there's
darn
a good chance Alabama wins out and Texas gets left out with their only loss being to Alabama. I mean,
That would be crazy.
they beat
I mean,
Alabama.
if Alabama if Alabama runs the table the rest of the year, they're the national champions.
I know, but if they win out, Georgia's still going to get in, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm just saying if Alabama does not lose another game this year, they're the national champions.
Hey, let me ask you this, guys, and viewers comment on this. If Alabama runs a table, Texas runs a table, who you picking to go to the playoff, Alabama or Texas?
Alabama. Well, did Texas win the Big 12? Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Texas beat them too at Alabama.
Believe and be safe. Thanks for joining us.
Get left out.
Hey, true. Hey, I went back and watched tape again today just because I can't get it out of my mind. But he does on the deep balls. If he underthrew 2 or 3 that could have been touchdowns last week. And the other thing he needs to take off running. When you got 2 guys going down the field deep, a lot of times QB run game is open. The safeties are gone.
The OSU game is baffling to me. I kind of thought it would be a struggle today, a close game, but I did not expect this. They look awful.
Gus Malzahn, dude, he's not bad.
He's a great coach. Malzahn's a great coach, but was OSU really? I mean,
Texas should have lost to Houston. Texas should have lost to K-State. K-State may lose tonight. They're in the same boat as OU.
So are you guys saying that Texas would be left out if that happened?
I don't know, man.
38-3, guys.
Look at John's rushing stat. That is
unbelievable.
That is unbelievable, dude.
Ollie Gordon won't make it to New York now. There's no way.
UCF has the worst rushing defense, man. Hey, Ron, DG has been hit a lot, but not a lot in the pass game, honestly. The pass protection's been good. I think DG's got to stay in the pocket more and scan the field.
This may be the worst Heisman Trophy year ever.
Who is going to sneak in it?
Who is it, Jeremy?
McCarthy may have a chance to get there. I think it's Jordan Travis if they go undefeated.
They're not going undefeated, though. They may lose.
I think Daniels
aren't that good either, Jeremy.
Daniels is the best player in the nation.
I agree with that. LSU Daniels, I think he might.
He's the best player in the nation.
I got a name for you. Milroe, any chance?
I don't think so.
Penix has not looked good today. I know that was early. I don't know if they've gotten better, but it's a horrible Heisman year. This is going to go down. It's going to go down as a Gino Torrietta year or a Chris Winkie year, something like that.
Hey,
Ray says he called it 2 weeks ago on the Miami.
Who's going to be the MVP for the Sooners tonight, guys? Who do you got? Who do you got as your offensive and defensive MVPs?
I don't know, but Mike, I'm with you. Watching the game today, I don't feel good at all about OU tonight. Watching these games, I'm like, is OU that bad?
You're right. McCarthy is just a guy. All you need at Michigan is just a game manager. That's it. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but
I want to see Stoops stack another game on like he did last week. But if he's having to catch the ball 11 times, there's something wrong. Spread the ball around the field. Throw it around the yard. Spread it. Harrison Jr., Jay, you're right. Harrison Jr. has to be in New York or it is robbery.
Hey, get this. And I think if Bowers comes back tonight and he plays good the rest of the year, I think he could win the whole thing.
You think he's playing tonight?
Yeah, I heard he's playing tonight.
He's on the Aaron Rodgers repertoire between Reggie Pearson is who.
Or are they off? Are they off this week, Georgia? Do they play tonight?
Yeah, I think they are. Maybe I don't know. I have to look. Hey, Reggie Pearson is due, man. But he could be. Hey, I remember Air Force had a running quarterback, and Brandon Everett just headhunted him all game long. That is the guy that Pearson could be. He could be a headhunter, throwing his helmet in there. Don't get targeting. And light Garrett Green up because you get rid of their running game, they're not much.
John, I'm with you on Gibson. I think Gibson is going to score a touchdown tonight. I really do. I hope I'm right. But yeah, Ray kind of agrees. He thinks he's the best player in the nation. Okay, that's right. They have the huge game tonight, Ole Miss, and I think he's playing for what I've heard. Bowers could definitely be in that Heisman talk. I think. I mean, it's just so wide open this year, guys. Another guy is Bo Nix. If they run the table, Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. Hey, who said that? Someone said something. Oh yeah, Coconut Greg. I have to ask a question for all you guys, really. But Billy Bowman has made some elite plays. Almost has made some unbelievable interceptions. Has intercepted the ball several times and had great returns. Has he been a disappointment tackling? Because he seems to overrun some things. He seems to not be great. Then he'll make a great open field tackle. I think his consistency hasn't been great. Is that wrong? Am I kind of outside my mind saying that, guys? What do you guys think on that?
I don't think you're wrong at all. Hunter just texted and said, or Jackson, and said that Stutzman is out there warming up and everything. So
he was out there last week, though.
I know. Ray says, yeah, I was both on that. So Key and Billy, some of the worst angles in football, especially. I think Key, and the problem with Key too is he's not the most secure tackler either. Bowman's pretty secure when he gets close to you, but Key.
Yeah, I mean,
give us an update on that Utah-Washington score. Last I checked, it was 28-24 Utah. There's no defense.
The last I had seen it too.
Washington has a bad defense.
And Woody Washington was great early on. He struggled a couple. I hope he's a guy that can get back at it. I mean, they're not going to wow you. West Virginia is not going to wow you with the receivers. They're not going to wow you with throwing the ball, honestly. But you got to pressure Green. You got to keep him in the pocket.
Agreed. 100%. And you got to stop the run game first off. Like, they've been doing a pretty good job at that. That's the one thing about OU this year has been pretty good is stopping the run game, right?
Oh, but sure they have. I mean, that's where it starts. You got to do that first tonight.
Here's another thing, too. You know, early on, OU was getting turnovers, right? It's hard to get turnovers, especially interceptions, if you're playing from behind or tied, because they don't have to pin back and throw it every time. If you get a lead and jump out hot, you can get some more turnovers. You just got to start off hot, and they haven't done that in a while.
Hey, and Trap House, Key's the guy that's going to play on Sundays. He does have it all. I like the word rangy that you use. It's a great descriptive adjective for him. That's who he is. He just, in the mind part for Key Lawrence, he just makes mental errors many, many, many times. Takes bad angles, mental errors, but you definitely know he's got the talent. And Washington, I think what Woody Washington is, guys, he's kind of a man receiver. He can be physical. He's not great in the zone. None of these guys are great in the zone.
No, but he's a good cover guy. He's just not as physical as you would want him. Gentry's a lot more physical. And I don't know about that answer, Blake, because honestly, when Gentry's been out, they've kind of struggled. So I don't know who you would put on that side.
Yeah, Kenai Walker has not been in.
No, and Josiah Wagner's a young pup, and he's been hurt, and he's coming back. And so you got.
I think the other guy that's got the most playing time that I think has a great future, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of him now, is Seatbelt Vickers.
I agree. He got robbed of that pass.
He got pushed off, and they called him for interference, but he was on lockdown mode on that side. Elmer's glue gun on the side.
Hey, oh my gosh, this is perfect.
You cannot play Canick in the zone, Trap House. He should be Trap House. He should be playing Cheetah or H-back or tight end for this team. He backed up Deshaun White last year in Nebraska, came in at the Cheetah position, and was amazing.
Hey, Jeremy,
they're not playing him right.
Last week against OSU on that pivotal play on the little pass right by him,
he's looking around.
It's a pick six.
He's looking around.
He's at pick six. Game's over.
I don't blame Canick for that. You can't play him there. He is a downhill.
He's young though. He can learn it.
He played quarterback in high school. The guy can run.
Wait, Jeremy, are you okay? He can run. He's athletic. Then how can he not figure that? Like, I think it's just learning, don't you?
I'm going to tell you how, Jay. Do you want me to stand up right here? When I'm going like this, I'm not using my speed. I'm looking around.
Well, that's because he doesn't know
they don't utilize his speed, Jay.
I agree with that a little bit, but
he's on his heels in zone coverage.
But is that because he doesn't know where he's going? That's what I'm asking.
I'll tell you this.
It's a tough position to play in.
It is, Jay. I'll tell you this. Go back and watch film, all the viewers. When they have blitzed Canick from the linebacker position, He gets to the quarterback every single time. He's great downhill.
I agree with that. But Kip's great. You can't keep Kip off the field tonight. He's got to play. He's too good.
Oh, Kip's been great.
You
Hey,
got to play him.
Unfortunately, Blake, we're not going to see an H-back in Levy's system. And Jay, you're right. Playing on his heels is what he does.
Jeremy, that's your favorite guy, Stephen A, is it not?
I can't stand Stephen A, but I'll take that as a compliment, Ray Gunn. I will take it as a compliment.
If he's Stephen A,
I'm more of a Skip Bayless guy.
Does that put me at Skip Bayless? Hey.
I'll be Stephen A, you be Skip Bayless.
Hey, you know what else is hilarious right now? If you go to Twitter, all the OSU fans that think that OU is going to make the Big 12 championship over them now because they lost. They don't even know the tiebreaker. Okie State doesn't even know the tiebreaker.
Kanik is a sophomore because he played last year his freshman year.
Yeah.
He's a true sophomore. Hey, let me say something to this, Mike. It's because there's so many people, and I'm going to say even the Sunshine Pumpers that, love OU, and even the ones that sometimes are in the program. They think you're crazy when you say things like this. It's like, are you watching the same game we are, guys? It's not. We're not far off. We're not in outer space talking about this. Kanik is not in the right position.
I think it's too early to tell on that, but
yeah. Hey,
that was that was a great play.
Great play. OU's got some huge tight ends coming in. Devon Mitchell's unbelievable. If they can land Nate Roberts, Jay.
He's supposedly – I think he's probably going to be there tonight because obviously any of the Oklahoma guys, they're going to drive down there tonight. It's a 6 p.m. kick. Why would you not? It's really your last chance because the next home game is day after Thanksgiving at 11 a.m.
I mean, you got Haynes at Carl Albert. You got Shield Knight that committed yesterday, guys. That's a huge get on the edge.
He's not coming tonight, though.
Thanks, Trap House. Appreciate that, Trap House. That's what we try to do anyway.
Yeah, we try, and we'll probably get backlash for it sometimes, but we're fans, and fans have a right to question things, whether it's right or wrong, all right? And that doesn't mean –
Hey, but there's also – let me say something.
And that doesn't mean Jeremy knows everything because he doesn't. That's for sure.
No, I don't say I do, but let me say something. When you say we're just fans, that's not – we are fans, and you guys are fans, and you guys know this is true. Sometimes people say that fans mean they don't know anything at all. That is far from the truth. Well, I've watched a lot of OU football in my life in 46 years of existence. You guys have watched a lot. We see – this was H-back you guys. OU was H-back you. Go through your head and say them, right? Go through your head and say all the guys. Trey Millar, J.D. Runnels, Jeremiah Hall, Dimitri Flowers, Carson Meyer. I'm going to miss some, but we missed that. We missed that. Then you have the great tight ends that OU's had. We don't have one right now. Cannot wait for Devon Mitchell to be on campus. It will be great. I would love to see some of McIntyre tonight, maybe behind Stogner or Blake Smith. See what he can do with the ball down the middle of the field, possibly. Yeah, I'm pumped too. Boomer Sooner, that's right. Ron, we'll get the link. We'll retweet it on our Sooner Surge, Ron, on our Sooner Surge Twitter. We'll do it right after we get off this. Yeah, Jay, you're right. It's ridiculous.
And listen, I'm not this fan thing. I'm not saying at all. You get those ones at the stadium should be booing. That's not what I'm saying. But we have a right to question, right? I mean, that's football.
Oh yeah.
But I can tell you this: if they go 3 and out the first 2 drives, mark it down. There will be boos. There will be. Will there not?
There has to be.
There will be. I don't think there should be. But
now the question will be: will people be booing Levy or Gabriel? And I don't know that we'll know on that. You can't tell the boos. It's not like there's a high pitched boo for Levy and a low pitch for Gabriel. But I hope off season they look at Kanik's position, because if you got Kip Lewis, now the whole thing is if Stutzman doesn't come back. Stutzman doesn't come back, you probably need Kanik there.
Yeah,
who do they got coming in? Actually, Lewis Carter can be a dude, man. Lewis Carter is good, guys. Number 20, watch him on special teams. Lewis Carter can play.
Yep, sure can. He's a guy. He's a good guy. I mean, he's a stud. How long
the game starts?
It starts at 6 p.m. on Fox, and we're getting ready to get off here and close it because we got to eat some dinner. Wow, Ron says,
I got to tell this story real quick, Ron. I got 3 boys. Our first son's name is Traber, named after, the ultimate Jim Traber. We had a second son. My wife would not let me name him Al because we could have the dominant duo just in our house.
Why didn't you name him Eshbeck?
Yeah, I could have, I guess. She wouldn't have gone with that either. But Stutzman comes back tonight at 2. After what Stoops said, there is no chance Stutzman's not playing. And Stutzman basically said the same thing if you heard the podcast on the Prairie. And Stutzman basically called out anyone who's not bought into this team.
Yeah, agreed.
Blake, were you a journalism major? We got a couple of guys on the Sooner Surge that are at OU majoring in journalism. Toby Rowland's teaching a class there too. Al still does teach. That's great. I cannot believe this OSU debacle. That's just hilarious and sad at the same time. Guys, drop your score predictions here in the chat. We're getting ready to get off here and go. We're going to watch the game. Make sure tonight, after the game, there's no other place. Maybe you listen to something else, but tonight you need to join the Sooner Surge Double Trouble. That's Jay and I. We'll be on to talk about all of your post-game thoughts, okay? Frustrations? Hopefully not. Hopefully some great news tonight after this game, and hopefully OU can win going away, and we have a bright future of good things to talk about. But Ray Gunn says 24-21. Good, guys. Fourth quarter hasn't even started on this OSU meltdown. Enjoy the last 45 minutes of that game, and then get that channel to Fox and turn on that game. Jay, who is on the call? We didn't answer that question earlier.
You know, I don't even know.
It's not Gus Johnson. It's not. I think it's going to be Brock Hurd.
No, Brock Hurt's calling the Washington-Utah game. We got the third one. So,
we got the third team. Nick Stransky says 80 yards rushing for Gabriel. If that happens, OU wins going away. I hope he does that tonight. All right, guys and gals, thanks for joining us. Till next time, Boomer.
Booner.
Just win, Stubby. I agree. Just win.
What do you think I was on it?
Yeah.